Comic Menu Podcast is sponsored by Realistic Comic Books. RealComicBooks.com.
Hey everybody! Normally we have the whole intro, the 2-minute intro, but you know what? I want as much time with these guys as much as possible, and if that means having an extra 2 minutes and 15 seconds, well, gosh darn it, I'm gonna get the 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Boy, are we in for a treat! Oh yes, we are. You know why? Because we're talking golden oldies, everybody. My two favorite golden oldies buddies. I've known now for quite some time. They've been on the show quite a few times now. We're trying to bring them back on more than just once a year. And we also have a returning face you haven't seen in a while, and a new face of the beard that I love so much, and yet I'm not jealous of it because it's a little wiry. I don't know if I dig it. So wiry. But let's start bringing some people in. The best color man in the business. Oh, that's right. You know who I'm talking about. My little Habibi. Close to my heart. There he is. Look at Dan can't grow a beard if his life depended on it.
Can't?
I don't think you can. Can you?
Oh my God, buddy! I shaved an hour ago.
You know what? That sounds like a challenge, my friend.
Oh my gosh!
It sounds like a challenge. Okay. The next we got returning face. We've been seeing in a while, Mr. Sinbad Comics. Cash, look at that. Look at that guy.
How's it going?
Good, man. We haven't seen Cash in a while. He's been on it a couple of years ago, but he's returning back into the business of slinging them old books and, making somebody happy with being a run being filled. Let's introduce our newest guest. First time ever, the Comic Menu. He's heard about it for years. He's been bugging me to jump on. I'm like, no, I don't know. We can only have one good-looking guy on the show, and it's me. But all right, look at that. Look at Nick. Look at Nick. Oh,
that was a heck of an intro, Caesar.
Hey, I'm the king of intros, my friend. You're going to have so much fun tonight. Hey, Kate. All right, now let's bring on the guests, the guys that I dig so much. Jason from Crime City and James from Code Blue. Let's go. Here we go. Yeah, buddy.
Hey, guys. Has it been a year already?
You know what? It's been a year.
Damn.
I'm telling you, it's no joke.
A year? Holy shit.
It's no joke. When I say, and you're going to get used to this, Nick. The older you get, the time doesn't matter because it just
blows by.
Flies. Yeah, it blows by.
And Caesar, you got a lot of salt and pepper in that beard now.
But it makes me very distinguished. I'm
digging
it. I'm digging it. Now, see, I can't do what Nick does because it would just drive me crazy. You know,
you got to get all the pesticides to, and everything to keep it clean.
Not everybody can pull that off and look good, though. Nick makes it look good.
Yeah. It's really just I can catch the extra food.
That's just disgusting. All right, everybody. Thanks for everybody for jumping in. If you're new to this podcast, shame on you. Go to hell. 2, don't go to hell and instead go there and like and subscribe because I don't know if you know, but we actually do some pretty good content on this show. Yeah, there you go. Zombie Tramp always has to make an appearance.
Yeah.
Only for the views.
Keep the attention.
That's right.
Sorry, I can't. Can't
Only
keep it
for
off the screen.
All right, but I tell you what, the reason why we always like to have these two guys on, because I always like to tell people, I didn't know shit about Golden Age, especially pre-code, didn't know anything about the Senate hearing, didn't know anything about so I didn't know shit about that stuff. And then I stumbled upon James Code Blue and Jason's Crime City Instagram show that they have, and I'll be talking about that very soon. And it's not just a claim show. It's just not a place where you could actually own pieces of history. You get knowledge, you get free books, you get shits of booze.
A lot of great deals.
A lot of great deals because of the shits of booze. And I tell you what I take from all that, not only meeting these guys in person and being friends, I truly love this. This is one of the community that I love the most. Years. There's nothing about it. And the history that they teach, man, I soaked it in. And thank you. I have some books. I could actually say I have two of the the 32 dozen, and I'm not even searching for the books. But I will say, who is searching for these books is this guy right below me, Mr. Nick.
Hey, Chris.
Nerds Pub. That guy is looking for all the books. It's been fun, right?
Yeah, it's man, it's like one of the most fun challenges I've ever taken part in. I can really just sum it up when I had reached out to James saying I wanted to start, and he said this is not for the faint of heart. Like, this is a journey that is gonna really challenge you as a collector, and it's lived every word up to it. But I will say, when you do find one of those books out in the wild, there's no greater feeling. There really isn't.
It's a rush, right?
It is.
Well, let's you know what? Before we even go any further, James, why don't you tell our Sunday?
Well, we went to a Fort Myers, to a little comic show up there, and it was primarily comic books, which was nice. And while we're there, we met a guy. He said he had a shop, and the shop was actually not a guy. What was the name of the woman? Anyway, irrelevant. So we go to check out his shop, and he's got a couple of bins of Golden Age books,
3 short boxes.
And
Golden Age.
All right, you gonna fucking talk or am I talking?
Oh my God, it's already starting.
Turn the fucking music down. Here's Jason. Now, if let's say I'm Jason, I'm talking to Caesar.
Tell your story.
Caesar, can you tell us the story of Golden Age books? Caesar starts to talk. Yeah, and let me tell you this.
Well, that's our Jason.
So we find. Thank you for correcting that, Jason. 3 short boxes of Golden Age books. Jason hears about it. He runs over, dives in, digging through them. And I eventually get over there, and there's one box left. I lift up the box, turn one book, second book, and then there's Mr. District Attorney. Probably a 5.0 for $40.
No, get the fuck out. And of course they're like,
we talk about it on the show that it's occasionally you will run into them. It's rare, but it happens. And that's I think the last time I sold that book, or I saw that book sell for, what was it, like $1,400, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I can tell you the price per point.
When you find a book like that, do you tell them? Do you tell the seller, or do you just say, "Okay, have a good day"?
Well, I debate that. I'm a nice guy. I don't want to rip anybody off. When I go to shows, I'll tell you what I do. When I go to shows, I ask them, "Do you have any of these 24 books?" And usually, when I'm at a show, they're like, "Okay, you're the 5th person that's asked about these books," and they don't know what's going on. So I tell them. I said, "Look, this is the Dirty 2 Dozen. It's the books that are in this this photograph here." And I educate them. And then sometimes, if if I know the sellers, I'll give them the price per point, so they have a better grasp on reality and how things are selling. But at the same time, it is kind of nice to find a cheap book occasionally, and just to have it for your PC, or just to resell it on the show. And we pass on savings to people. And the goal we have a little chat group that's for people that are genuinely interested in pursuing the run and have got a couple of books. And the goal of that chat group is really just to help each other finish the run and to help each other upgrade if you've already finished it.
Yeah.
And it gets a little sideways occasionally where people are focused on the cash. It's not about that. It's more about understanding that these books have a place in history and how unique they are and how much fun they are to chase down. So to answer your question, no, I did not tell this guy anything about the book.
You know what?
It's a double-edged sword, right? On the one end, you do the research, you have the knowledge. Every time I've joined you guys' shows, I come away learning something.
Yeah.
So I think that's the benefit of knowing your stuff. You get to find those good deals when the
Right.
person who's selling it hasn't priced it accordingly.
Right.
The other end, you kind of feel bad, but I don't know. I think I'm in your camp where I'm like, I'm not saying nothing. I'm going to take the book.
I usually educate them, but it is nice to like occasionally find one, get a deal on it. Because these days when I'm buying books, I usually end up paying all the money for them. If I'm upgrading books, I mean, yeah.
You know,
when I bought if I'm trying to upgrade my books now for the PC, I'm usually looking for not all of them, but several of them are 8.0 range, and I end up paying for them.
You know, I think to answer the question though, it kind of depends who I'm buying it from. I would feel terrible, like if Nick here didn't know what he was selling me, because the burden of the research. I'm knowledgeable. James is knowledgeable. Nick may not know that book, and I would hate for him to sell to me, for $20 and then
Nick.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I think the burden of research at a comic book store, which is where we were, he did his research. He priced the books what he felt that would profit him, and that's the price that he put on the book. We didn't try and suggest a price to him.
So let me ask you, what is I don't know. I was busy sharing out the link. What is the actual price for something like that raw in that condition?
Well, we'll tell you. We'll tell you what the price
for a 5 point. So what Jason's going to show you is early on I established a basic price per point, and that was based on people that were trying to pursue the run, what I was paying for books, and then we had data on raw books that were selling on eBay, and there was no real hard data on GPA that captured that. So we also kind of get, when we see them show up in auctions, like here's a good example. PBA Auctions a couple weeks ago had a Justice Traps the Guilty 62. I think it was a T-Man and one other book, and they were low to mid grade. And what the $4,600, somewhere in that range.
Upwards above that.
And that had nothing to do with our show, or this was completely independent, right? That won't show up on GPA because they're all raw
and bundled.
Yeah, so we see that occasionally. So we've established a price per point. And what's the price per point for Mr. District Attorney, Jason?
Mr. District Attorney, number 38 is $350 a point.
And that was about a 5.0, I think.
It sure looked like that. Just kind of
after it gets cleaned up. Yeah.
Wow.
So there is still gold in those hills.
Yeah.
There's still gold.
So just to educate people that are may or may not be aware of how this all came about and all that kind of stuff. So here's the short version, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting on my couch.
James, if I could, before you take off,
yeah.
Just for those people that might not be familiar, because we're talking golden age, we're talking pre-code horror. Mr. District Attorney is like a crime golden
Correct.
age.
Correct. Yeah. It's one second.
And once again, if you don't, if I don't know these guys, if I never saw their show, I wouldn't know what the fucking Mr. District Attorney is.
So that's Mr. District Attorney.
I mean, look at that book, man.
Yeah.
So we, and I'll give you why they chose these books. It's we don't have a real solid answer to some of the questions, but so bottom line is I was sitting on my couch probably about 5 years ago, and I came across this photo, and I was curious, what is it? What is this photo from? And and who are the people involved, in this photo? And I don't know if you can see it. I look at them.
Hold
I see
on.
you.
No, hold on. I meant to put.
You're telling your story, so Caesar zooms into himself.
Hold on, you son of a bitch. Jesus.
Here, how's that? See, is that?
No, yeah.
How come it's not side? You can't get it side. You can't
Well,
get it
because
landscape?
if you did it, if you turned your screen, probably it would go landscape.
Yeah,
I don't
you're a
Yeah,
vertical.
but don't fuck with it.
I'm not gonna. I don't risk it. All right, that's fine. Anyway, so I come across this photo, and I had some friends that were familiar with some of the old Golden Age books, and some of them were recognizable, like Crime Suspense 20, Mystery Tales 19, a few of the others, Weird Chills. But I didn't know who the senators were or who these guys were. Why are they pointing at the sign? So, and some of these books were covered by this guy, right? So I tracked down most of the books, with some help from friends, and then I found this photo, and I could find some of the books that you couldn't see in the other photo. The other thing I realized is, even though I could see these books, they were very blurry because of the photograph. The photograph itself was blurry, really low resolution.
Yeah.
So I found a solution. I bought the editorial rights to both photos, and then they sent me the original negative, so I could print that, and that's why I ended up with a photo, that has this kind of clarity, right? So then I could really see the books.
So I think it's fascinating, James, that we had no price per point. We had no concept of what this was. You and I had never met, and you were just sitting on your couch and I've got to know what that is. And you hunted it down and went to the trouble of getting the editorial rights. I mean, I don't think I would never have even known to do that.
Yeah, I just had some experience with editorial rights and business when we're doing advertising, where you find a photo and you think it's public domain, and it turns out it isn't. But anyway, long story short, found all the books, got the issue numbers, everything went to CGC. After a couple tries, they agreed with the documentation and gave it a special notation that the books are used in the Senate investigation on juvenile delinquency. So when you see a book like, let me grab. Here's a Spellbound, right?
Hey, bring James back into the.
Of course, James did a switch one on me.
Hold on a second, James. You got small.
Jesus, James, what's going on here? Oh, there we go.
It's not his fault. It's cold out.
There he is.
So if we zoom in on, let's see here if I can show you. All right, can you see the notation there or no?
No, you can read it.
Yeah, okay. So that was the notation that CGC decided to put on it, and that was exciting, right? So now the books have that special notation, and then I had an idea about, it'd be nice if when you see a Senate book, right? When you see a Senate book on a rack, or if you're at a con and you see all these books that are lined up, it would be nice if you could spot one right away. And I started thinking about, why can't we have a special label for it? Well, it's not as easy as you would imagine to get a special label. It took me 2 years and going back and forth with CGC and their lawyers and their design department, and what was possible, what wasn't possible. Because if it's a pedigree book, that's one thing. You can get a specialty label like a Batman or Fantast or one of those. But I wanted something that was very more, I guess, timeless, conservative, because these are Senate books. These are the Dirty 2 Dozen. And I also, when people refer to it as the Dirty 2 Dozen, Jason and I went back and forth trying to come up with a name for it. I said, we can't just keep calling them Senate books, because that's not really grabbing it. So I came up with the Dirty 2 Dozen. That stuck, and then I trademarked it. So now I don't have to worry about that either. So anyway, here's the final result that was just approved a week and a half ago. This took 2 years, and now this is the new.
Oh,
looks so good.
there it is.
Dirty 2 Dozen.
Wow, they put the
Combo.
Capitol.
Yeah.
The Capitol is on the
It's
label.
got the Capitol building, and there's 24 stars for the 24 books. And then on the back, it'll have It'll have it on the back as well of the label.
That's sick.
And then
Congrats, guys.
this was the last. This was the last issue. Was I said I wanted, can we go dark? On one side, and they said, well, we haven't really done that before, but let's give it a shot. So back and forth, and then I had to spend a little cash. I won't tell you exactly how much cash, but it wasn't cheap because you have to buy a certain number. And now, if you have a book, like let's say Nick wants to send some of his books in, he wants to get the label, you're going to be able to send it into CGC, choose the label, and the label is going to be free because I've already paid for all of them.
That's amazing.
And that'll last for, I think there's about a 1.5 year window, and then I have to kind of renegotiate.
For everybody's label that qualifies for that label. You did it already. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
It's Comic Santa.
Wow.
Wow.
He's a saint.
It wasn't, I'm not trying to be super generous. Reality is to get this done, the only way I could get it done was I had to buy them myself. Right. Yeah. And here's a good example of trademark. I had that design for the Capitol building, and we went back and forth with their legal team trying to figure out if it was public domain. I said, it's just a fucking Capitol building. Want me to redraw it for you? Something, that's stylistic. But anyway,
wow.
I was pretty excited about it. It's
congrats. That's amazing.
A little legacy type of thing there.
No, you're definitely leaving your mark.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
here's the
that's the best picture right here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think.
I like
because
that.
it has basically the good stuff. So for those who are now, mind you, if you see somebody selling something, these kind of pictures, and it's not coming from James, hit up James because he has actually the only rights to do anything with these kind of pictures.
That was in the 50s, right? Right, James?
Yeah, that was 1954.
And it was like televised. I mean, it was a big deal. They had like a psychiatrist come in and tell how crime books were contributing, even things like homosexuality. It was ridiculous.
Correct. The one of the best quotes was Dr. Wortham came on, who's a psychiatrist you're referring to. He said, if I, as a psychiatrist, he said, if I were going to come up with a handbook on how to become a criminal, how to rape, steal, and do crime, I could not come up with something better than the crime books that are available to children today. Then he said, Hitler was an amateur compared to the comic book industry when it came to propaganda and molding the minds of young. These are real quotes. I mean, the problem is he did a lot of very good things, right? I mean, very good things. Like he set up a public clinic. So African Americans had no access to mental health services back in the 50s in New York City. It sounds shocking, but that's the reality. He decided with the help, he got no help from the city. They were not going to donate, or not going to kick in any cash. So he went to a church and they raised the money so he could do a free, not a free clinic, but a clinic in the African American community. And in addition to that, he had them pay a little bit of amount, like $1 or $2. And he said the reason for that is he didn't want to steal people's pride. It was very interesting. So he was very thoughtful, and he did some great stuff. And he was like the top professor or the top guy at Johns Hopkins University. So when you have a guy with this kind of resume and this kind of pedigree, and he's not only is he highly educated, he's written books, but he's also has demonstrated his human side to himself. So when he comes out and starts saying shit about comic books, people believe it.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had the platform that exists now. Back in those days, he would have ran the world.
There's a couple of really cool radio interviews. So I found some interviews where he was being interviewed. This was prior to the trials, and so his book came out, and people had their opinions about it. Well, one of the opinions was it's not based on real data. I mean, it's very subjective. It's not some of the things he was saying in there were not, true like double blind or traditional scientific studies, right? Not that, but he had the attention of the middle aged, the mothers primarily. With and here was the message to moms. The message was, you think you know what your children are reading, but you really don't.
You know what's
And
funny?
they're just this kind of planting some really shitty seeds in these people's heads.
Well, my mom says that to me. Yeah.
Two thoughts come to my mind, which is kind of funny. First of all, the cynical part of my brain is like, I find it hilarious that politicians are guiding us morally, like they're the moral compass. I won't go.
Right.
I won't go there though. But I laugh now because this action and ultimately led to the Comic Code Authority, right?
Correct.
And that essentially killed a vast amount of golden age and horror books.
Correct.
But now, that was then. Now look at the shit that's out there today. I mean, it's insane, the horror and the gore.
Yeah, he would have
out there today.
Yeah, that doctor would have a heart attack. So James, Cash and Nick, these questions are for you. Let's start with you, Cash. What brought you into what is it about that you just love about the Golden Age or some of that pre-code horror stuff?
Well, from the Golden Age, what I currently collect, though now I'm eyeing these dirty 2 dozen, but what I currently collect are Seduction of the Innocent books. So books that Dr. Wortham mentioned in Seduction of the Innocent. And there are stack of those, right? So some are easy to track down, some are very hard. It's the history behind those that really draws me to them. They have a real story behind the books, and there's a finite set. There are some other things that I do collect. The Golden Age artwork, I still to this day think it's better than anything that you can buy on a modern comic. All this computer generated bullshit, I'm sorry. I know if you love your artist, all right, but these guys, they painted, they airbrushed, they used a pen and ink and made the most beautiful art, and they did it fast too, right? They were
Very
doing
fast,
this stuff,
Yeah.
They had to.
like machines. There are several of those artists that I'm really, really drawn to. I love the L.B. Cole stuff. I like the Alex Schomburg airbrush work, and Matt Baker, Johnny Craig, Al Feldstein, some of this stuff those artists I really love. And that's what draws me into that. And I can't find them everywhere. So the best part of the comic collecting journey for me is the hunt, right? Having it is one thing, hunting for it and finding it, that's the thrill. And I can't just go out and pick these up anywhere.
I mean, listen,
100% Cash.
I get fucking excited when I find that sock I've been looking for the past 3 fucking weeks, let alone a book from a Senate run. It's incredible. So, Nick,
some of these books take years to find just a copy for sale, not one I can afford, but just one for sale.
We got a guy right now who's in the hunt, right, Cash? Well, first thing, Cash, if you're going to start going for the 32 dozen, good luck, my friend. I send you nothing but peace and love. Nick, how about you? What drew you into want to go? Was it these two guys that made you kind of go like, I think this is what I want to do?
I'm gonna. So, just my introduction into Golden Age was definitely Code Blue and Crime City for sure. Jason and James, fantastic people. They don't get enough credit for how much they do for just not only the comic community on Instagram, but the comic community as a whole. James not even bragging about it, just telling it straightforward on what he's done with the CGC labels and bringing attention to the actual Dirty 2 Dozen. As painful as that may be for me here in the near future to find the rest of the 7 books once CGC announces, hey, we got this new label, and everyone starts realizing, you know, that book in their box for $40, you know, may not be a $40 book anymore. But my introduction to Golden Age really started with my wife is a big horror fan, and was a huge. She watched Tales from the Crypt as a kid with her grandfather, and that was something I wanted to get her into collecting as well as me. I was always into the hero stuff, but then I started buying them, and I was like, man, there's just something to them. You know, they feel special. And I brought two of like my current favorite ones. These are from the Senate run. Haunt of Fear 23.
Oh wow,
Great book.
Just, I mean, the art on it alone is just incredible. But
Let me see that, Nick. Put it up there again, Nick.
yeah, so let me
That's
get it
the-
without the glare
that's
here.
the-
Oh, it's 6-0.
Nice 6-0 on that.
It's a nice,
That's the
nice book.
the Gambit swipe. That,
And then,
Jason pointed
Nick
out.
won the lottery before the show. He's got some heavy hitter books now.
Look at that.
Yeah, so
I
but
love that blue title cover. I love that blue
Yeah.
title. I love it.
I would say though what
Yeah.
really truly had me
Robin's End.
collecting Golden Age though is this is I'm a big Americana fan, big fan of Americana history. And you want to look at what really shapes us as a culture. You really want to look at the stuff that's influencing us. And, you know, if you influence a whole generation of children on what they're reading, well, those people end up growing up to write, you know, books, movies, pop culture. And then that stuff is then passed to us to enjoy as well. So, you know, this is really what we're enjoying now is the product of people who grew up reading a lot of this stuff. And you can really see that in our current pop culture, just like we were talking about earlier with the, you know, how much the Seduction of the Innocent book would be different if they could read the comics of today. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff is the byproduct of, you know, having these EC books and ACG books that, you know, were coming out and giving us amazing stories and a touch of horror, a touch of sci-fi, you know, mixing it all together. And I just think it's incredible. You know, a lot of these people were coming back from World War II, and you know, not just children reading this stuff. A lot of people, I think, could, you know, express some of the horror and stuff they were feeling from what they were going through these stories. And I think it's incredible. So I love what it did for Americana history. And then that's what really drew me into the Dirty Two Dozen, you know, because now you have an actual, like, well, you know, here's the stories, but now here's the consequence of writing whatever you want in a time where we're a little bit more conservative and restricted. So there's just something about that just draws me immediately in.
So Nick, how many books are you short? What are you missing?
I'm
How
at
many
17 out of 24. So
You've got 17 of them, Nick?
yeah, I have 17. I'm working on my 18th one right now, and the little DM action going on. So trying to hunt down 18. But yeah, I'm down to the hard ones. So
The first half is easier than the second half.
yeah. So
now?
that's what's been fun about, you know, the group of messages that James was talking about. The community within the community is incredible. I've picked up a lot of books from when people upgrade, and they could easily just stick me with the bill on the price because I need them. But that's rarely the case. Huge shout out to DJ DeWan, Mr. who both are in here right now.
Yeah.
They've really helped me get a lot of my collection just through their upgrades. Or like they go to a Comic-Con and they see one in a box and it's $60. They could easily just be like, hey, I have one for $300, but you just say, hey, $60 and it's yours, you know. And that's really the community within the community that's really making this whole thing really feel special.
I feel like those books, those Golden Age and pre-code horror books, not compared to now, really not only were like about storytelling, but they really sort of helped highlight that moment in time, like the Cold War era, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you look at stuff like, you know, you talk about James, Mr. District Attorney, right? I mean, like, if you like Law and Order today, that was Law and Order back then. You know, I mean, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, like, I think nowadays that kind of, I read everything. I mean, people will tell you, I love to read everything, but these books today don't really necessarily, sometimes they do, but not really explain the time we're in. Those books then really kind of helped illustrate
A
a
glimpse.
point in
Yeah.
time.
I love hearing, all the comments so far. I just wanted to, one thing. I remember, Nick, when you and I really met face to face when we were in Florida, and
Mhm.
there were that little show that was going on, you and your wife, and I had a Don Heck cover, the one where the guy is reaching into the um,
The oven.
incinerator, right?
Oh,
There's
yeah. Here.
he's reaching into the incinerator. So somebody's getting cremated, and
Yeah, that's
the view
exactly.
is the hands coming in. There it is. So he's reaching in, right? And that weird terror is a just talking to both Nick and his wife about that cover, and I ended up giving selling them one of those. They had the same passion I had, and we're there's an age gap between the two of us, but it's so the desire and the interest and the passion is the same. And then listen to you talk about um, just the history and the Americana side of it. When I realized this 1954 isn't that far removed from the end of World War II, when we're fighting,
Mhm.
and Hitler's burning books and this kind of thing. And then we have the McCarthy hearings that are going on at the same time as these comic book hearings. It's a bizarre time in U.S. history. I mean, a really fucking bizarre time. I love that about the contradictory aspect of it. It just is very uniquely American.
Well, the
It's
funny
it's
thing is, these books are about fear and horror, and the actions of the set of hearings are literally an attempt to combat their own fear in the wrong
Correct.
way possible. I mean, it's almost kind of like a
They
little bit of
couldn't
irony.
control. People don't realize that the term teenager, right, came out in the
Mr.
50s.
Mister.
Came out in the 50s, teenagers. So this idea of teenagers wasn't something that was thrown around until really the early 50s. And the people that were in power were very concerned because now you got teenagers listening to their own music, they had their own language, they had their own body language, they had their own dancing style, and they were not controllable. That scared the shit out of the people that were in control. So this
it,
was part of that was to exercise some try to control this.
I gotta say, well, first of all, thank everybody who's jumping on here. Because of these two, we got a lot of people on here for the first time watching. Do me a favor, go and like and subscribe. Everyone says, I don't understand it. Why aren't you guys so big on YouTube? You have 93,000 followers on your Facebook page, but your YouTube, I don't know what to tell you, man. Just go like, subscribe, all that stuff, because we actually put on some good stuff. All right, don't be a douche. If you guys would have known, well, Dan doesn't help. I've noticed that the viewers actually dropped once Dan actually joined the show. That's actually now that I think about it. But go like, subscribe, join here next Tuesday. We always have good stuff. Always have good conversation, and I'm always bringing on people from the community, from the IG. My goal this year, bring in more of my friends, because everyone I've noticed on IG, they're knowledgeable people, right? There's people who know their stuff, and they're niches, right? I brought Movie Man last week, and he was, or whatever it was, and he has a genre. Mikey Gruesome I had on at the same time. They have that niche, that horror bronze, and we talked about VHS tapes because of Brian and all that stuff. Nick, who's he's getting to know this. Obviously, these two cool cats, Cash. Cash is a world of encyclopedia. Then you have Dan. So, the funny thing is that when we get this community of, it's an explosion of knowledge and fun. And I tell people this show, it's like sitting in someone's living room having drinks and just talking about stuff. We kind of forget you're on a camera. You kind of forget you're on a podcast. That sometimes we don't even have topics. We just start riffing.
We're always footballing here.
It's always supposed to be. Yes.
So here's a thought.
Speaking of drinks, this is the best Irish coffee. And I want to tell you. So Jason one time came to the house and was actually in this studio with me. And it was rare, right? Rare opportunity. And I only know how to make a very good Irish coffee, a very good espresso martini, and a very good old fashioned. And I've traveled quite a bit to adjust, talk to different bartenders in Ireland and different places. So I made an Irish coffee for Jason at my house
with your own hands.
with these hands, right? And we're doing a show. He let it get cold.
Can you believe that?
Can you believe that? Let it get cold.
I can.
Did the
I can
same
believe
thing with the espresso martini. Caesar knows.
And Nick was there to witness. And Caesar was there to witness that.
I made one for Caesar, and he drank it. And didn't let it sit there. He drank it while it was nice and cold.
Because I knew better.
James, this is the best espresso martini I ever had. Jason's still sitting in the fucking corner. Getting hot.
It's my liver.
It was disgusting. I felt very disgusted.
Disturbing.
If
a man makes another man a drink, you got to fucking drink it.
Now let me ask James and Jason. I'm going to ask you the question to break the spirit of Nick. I want you to. We're gonna act. If you hear a cracking sound, that's Nick's mark.
Hey, welcome to the show, Nick. We're going to break your spirit.
We're going to break your spirit. What is the hardest book to find on the 32?
It's adjusted over the last year.
There's two.
Well, there's three really.
Right.
In my opinion, it's the one that other people don't really talk about. To me, it's 57. To me,
Not the Traps to Guilty.
So I've been collecting these for 5 years. 5 years. And I have a Justice Traps to Guilty 57 and a 4.0, and that's it. A 4.0. And I've been doing this for 5 years. And when I say I've been doing it for 5 years, I was doing it when no one was looking for these books. So I should have been able to find the best books, right? Before they had any notoriety. And I still can't get over a 4.0 on a 57. That's Justice Traps to Guilty.
Now, what is it? Why that particular book?
Well, because these books, there was a handful of books on this presentation board that were off everyone's radar, right? Nobody cared. I mean, the ones that were on the radar were, the EC books were on people's radar. Maybe the Hand of Fates, definitely the Crime Suspense 20, but there were several, probably half of the books on this. When I first started this, I looked at the census, and the census was 0. No graded copies.
And
because they weren't on anybody's radar. They were dollar bin books.
Right. They were. That's like saying, some non-key Spider-Man book from 1989, but then suddenly it becomes a key book because they're making some movie. And you're like,
it's a 4 or 5. So this is the book. And in my opinion,
I love the cover of that too.
I am looking forward to the fucking day where I find a 9.0 or an 8.0 where this tangerine orange is so fucking vivid.
That's a tough book.
I dream about it, and it's so cool. This guy's getting pushed into he's ready to be executed. He's on his way, right? It's such a great cover.
It really is.
Let me ask you a question, if I could throw something out here.
Sure.
As time goes forward, do you think we need to start slide scaling the ages? Like Golden Age is a very tight window of time.
Very true.
And moving forward now, we're in 2026, and Golden Age still represents a small
54.
So do you think we need to start expanding these ages to kind of include? I see Cash shaking his head. Why and why not? Why shouldn't we?
To me, it's pre-code and post is the big transition.
Okay.
To me, that's the biggest. That's the biggest shift.
The code. Technically, there are Golden Age books that have the code stamp on them, right? The very end of that. But I do it the same way. It's you have pre-code. Now, if you want to break it into bigger eras, I think Golden Age stays the same. And honestly, Golden Age is actually smaller. Golden Age ended in the 40s. Then you had Atomic Age.
Very true.
Between there, but no one calls it that.
So true.
And
I've
Platinum
never heard of
before
Atomic Age.
39.
Today I learned.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
But if if you want to expand, the silver and early bronze together, and make that one bigger category, and then break up the modern category into smaller segments. Because modern's what now 30 years worth of books is considered modern, and going on 40 years worth of books being considered modern.
I agree.
Cash, traditionally, with everything else, when you're talking about silver, gold, bronze, it represents a time, like an age depth, right? So like golden age, I think, will always sit there because it's of its age. But as we're moving forward in the future, silver age should be expanding as well, because some of these books are getting to be 50 years old, or more.
No.
Well, they capture as well, like Nick was talking about, and the golden age, excuse me, everybody's talking about the golden age captured a point in time of types of stories that were told. The silver age does too. When the bronze age came, the types of books and the types of stories changed. That's where your modern superheroes came in.
Right.
That's where your barbarian books came in, and your new round of horror. Because between golden age, during the silver age, horror books were incredibly scarce, right? Because of all the kerfuffle from Kefauver. That's when the horror books came back in. It's a whole different genre of types of books that were published. And then when you went into Copper Age, again, things started to change. You started to get more of those TV show type of books, your G.I. Joes and your Transformers and Smurfs and that kind of thing came in toward the end of that. So blending those, I think you take something away when you start to expand Silver Age, because it also encapsulates a period of history, a period of comic book history that is very distinct, that fits into that era.
I agree with that. I think Golden Age personally should stop as soon as that code popped up. I mean, it should be pre-code.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
Then also when it comes to Golden Age, you had heroes like Superman, Human Torch, this type of thing. And then the era when it blossomed into crime. People throw around PCH all the time, pre-code horror. Well, pre-code horror is important, but people were mostly concerned with the crime books.
Right.
That's what they were concerned about. I mean, not the horror was bad and the weird variety that they called it, but crime was the one that they were very concerned about.
Because that's too realistic. That could happen.
Yeah. Well, they said that crime doesn't pay, but it is a lot of fun. I love that.
I gotta throw a massive shout out to Gary. I don't know if DJ DeOne is in here. He posted one of his grails, right? And it was the Adventures of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
He got that. I don't know if you can see it though. But anyways, the Adventures of Mickey Mouse, guys. Now let's put these.
Who was talking about Schomburg earlier? By the way, who was that? I can't remember.
Cash.
Yeah, Cash.
I just want to take a sidebar and show this to Cash.
Sure.
So this book that I'm going to show Cash, 1941. So think about the date. Think about Pearl Harbor and when Hitler declared war on the United States. This book came out in November of 1941, and it's a Marvel mystery book, and it's the only one I'm aware of where the torch is coming in feet first. Here you go, brother.
Aaron, you're right.
Wow.
100%. Holy shit!
What grade is it? 7.5.
7.5.
Crazy.
Wow.
Are you gonna have that? Are you gonna have that Well, I don't know if you'll put Dirty 2 Dozen on there, label on there, are you? No, but not for that book.
No, it's because it doesn't qualify. It's not part of the. But I just love the fact that this is 1941.
Wow.
And they got the swastikas and the torch is coming in feet first, crushing, Nazi boats. I mean,
That's incredible.
Where'd he go?
He got
Blue watching you.
James's internet is also from 1941.
Premature.
I gotta tell you though.
He's still using CompuServe.
Mickey Mouse, The Adventures of Mickey Mouse, Gary, to have a book in a 2.5 from 1931 is fucking impressive.
Gary's got a hell of a collection. If you get to talk to Gary, he's got some interesting stuff.
Well, he was supposed to come on, but it's a little too early on the West Coast.
Nick, let me ask you a question.
Now we're back.
So,
Did you guys get that? The connection lost?
Nick, the books that you're collecting, the Golden Age and the books that you're these are more for investment, right? You're not really reading these books, I'm assuming, right? I mean, obviously.
No, I do read. When I get them in raw form, I read them. The EC books are a little bit easier to get the reprints of, so I generally just buy those ones slab because they have the reprinting.
The ones on the wall, by the way, behind me, I work with the guy. These are all reprints because I'm putting together an omnibus.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so the omnibus will have all the Dirty 2 Dozen in it, all 24 books, so people can read them. Those are the reprints. I've been working with this guy to. The problem is he did the reprints of all of them, and some of them are not public domain. So I got to work with him on that. I know for a fact that Crime Suspense Stories 20 is not public domain.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You know what? As somebody who loves to read all kinds of different book genre, I mean, you name it, I love it all. But I do find, and this is probably more about me than the actual genre and the age of the book. I can't get into Golden Age writing. Like it's sometimes it seems like it's overly wordy.
Interesting. Yeah.
Is that a weird thing? I mean, I don't want to like,
not weird.
I don't want to like paint that in a bad light because I think it's probably more about me. But like,
have you read any of the crime books like The Clue? That's a good start. You want to read some crime books, some Golden Age Clue.
Okay.
Those are just as good as any, Law and Order or whatever. When you read one of these short stories of crime books, like from Clue is a good example. All the stories in Clue, you could put them on television tomorrow.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, Cash.
I'll check it out. I got to find them. We're all saying how these things are like diamonds in a rough. You can't find them anymore. So
that's some good reading. That's some good reading.
What's up?
Put that back up.
No. Oh, this one?
Yeah,
this is good reading.
Those Clue stories are great.
Clues are great reading. Great reading. All of them.
Are they stealing that dude in the phone booth, Cash? They're literally taking him in the phone booth and everything?
Cash, do you have
they stole the phone booth.
Do you have the iron torture cover, Clue cover?
I had it.
So.
It's I think it's number 2.
Yeah,
Clue
Clue
2.
I've had it a few
number
times.
4. I can't remember, but it's a great book. I had it. That's a good story, actually.
I can't attest for the stories, but I know that it's a great book.
But on the reading of the Golden Age, the stories are incredible. I know they get a little bit wordy, but I kind of read it. I don't know if you've delved into pulps at all.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
And you can kind of see where the wordiness of pulps. Those are books.
That's where the crime came from. Those pulps.
Yeah,
Exactly
and so
right.
when you get into these, comics, I almost read it as a short story pulp that you just get more art from. You get more of the art there, but really you're reading the story, and they had a lot to say in one issue. A lot of these are just one issue. They complete everything in the one issue of a story, whereas nowadays you're getting 8 issues to tell one story. They got to jam that in there. But if you kind of go in with the mindset that you're reading it almost similar to a book or a short story, I find I know it is wordy, but it's kind of like a cool picture book at this point. I know it's kind of a weird way to go into that, but as far as getting into reading Golden Age, that was the huge turn of mentally how I was going into reading these.
Let me ask you guys, when the news, and we talked about this last time, we barely sort of scratched the surface. When CGC started with, we're going to start grading these pulp books, right? And everybody and their grandmother was like, I got 400 pulps and we're going to make hundreds and thousands of dollars because they're from 1935, blah, blah, blah. It didn't really take off as much, right? Unless it was specific pulp books, the specific covers.
Yeah.
Right? That people were like,
well, there are specific covers, and some of the really, really famous things that for like Conan and the H.P. Lovecraft stuff all started in
Right.
pulps, right? So those specific issues are very valuable. And then you go back to the covers. That's really, I mean, that's a cover collection thing. Personally, I buy beat up pulps that no one would ever grade because I read
they're
them.
fantastic.
Yeah.
They're absolutely wonderful.
Now, why do you think James and Jason? Because I know a lot of the artists that became famous kind of started their chops right with pulps. They started getting their like, oh, this cover is from so and so, and people never would have guessed it, right? Because they had these pulps, but they never really knew who the actual artist was until you start digging into it and going, holy shit, right? Like one of my favorite ones, and I learned it from you guys, James and Jason, was the Schomburg, the Alex bean. What is its name when it's reversed?
I have that one,
Yeah.
Jason. That's one of my favorite
Zella,
covers.
yeah.
I've got that one.
Zella.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, he writes
I mean,
Alex
look at-
backwards.
That's
Zella,
like a
Alex
masterpiece piece of art that should go in a gallery. I mean, look at how amazing that is.
I absolutely love this book, and it's just because it's epic. It's just so epic, the drawing.
Well, that's a lot of Roman. Like I've been to the Vatican and seen some of that has a lot of. And I also saw it was the first time I saw that book. I don't have a lot of tattoos and stuff, but if you want a tattoo, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one to have, right?
That's the
So-
one to get.
Guess that one, Caesar. Who do you think
That's a
did
great
this
one
one?
there,
Is
too.
this
That's-
tomorrow American to come?
Is that the
Let
one
me see,
without the 10-cent stamp on it or whatever?
Yeah,
With
yeah,
the blank.
without the price.
Is this tomorrow?
Is that a
That's Charles Schultz.
oh, Charles, there you go.
That's a great book.
And that's
Peanuts.
the cool stuff,
Yeah.
right? Because people think of Charles Schultz, obviously they think of Snoopy and the Peanuts. Then you show them shit like that, and it's like let's be real, people. The fool wasn't growing up drawing Snoopy from I mean, they get their chops somewhere. They get it going, and then they move into a different genre.
That's
But
when they were teaching people to duck and cover, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so they have the kids in elementary school, and they say, okay, if there's potentially a atomic bomb that's going to be dropped, they have a drill that the kids would go underneath their desk, cover their head, duck and cover, was supposed to help them when an atomic bomb is dropped.
Well, they don't make desks like
That's
that.
why you got that right. They're very heavy. They are very.
is
They were
true.
very heavy back then.
Touche, Cash, touche.
I had to do that back in my how I do it now here at the house when
I love those.
Yeah,
old days.
and maybe Cash can agree since he's heavily reading pulps as well. But one of my favorite things about reading pulps is I really like to think. I love like reading the books from like the 30s and 40s, but particularly like late 30s, early 40s, because I just imagine, an 18-year-old on a ship over to Europe, and he's reading this pulp, about to enter World War II, and a lot of the stuff that would entertain the troops, and these stories that really became, big piece. Not to go back to Americana, I don't want to get stuck on that, but this is literally direct, like, viewing port into the life of, living in the early 40s and what it would be like to get shipped overseas, and keep yourself entertained in a foxhole reading adventure trails or, like they were saying, the Conan stuff and what that came to be. But yeah, look at that. That's insane.
I've never had this. It's one I've always wanted, this picture parade. This is fucked up.
it's such a wholesome cover.
Yeah.
Right?
Except
Last
that dog kind of looks like a chupacabra or something. I mean, it doesn't look like a dog.
For those of you who don't, because I was talking about those who we started, CGC started slabbing those pulp books. So I have one here, courtesy of my homeboy Gary. This is my only pulp book that I have, right? And obviously there's a wolf, and Dracula's wolf being my fit. Let me tell you guys, this is not a very thin case.
Fat book.
Right?
Yeah, they're massive.
It's a pretty fat book. This thing is massive compared compared to something else. But I recently won this as a giveaway. So this is my very first golden Batman. I never had one. This is from 1936 or 38. It is very cool. It's covered detached. I don't think, but who gives a shit? It's a Batman from the 30s. People,
Right.
I'm telling you, when people always ask me, like, Cesar, you don't read books. Why do you collect? And I always tell them, I collect because I like to preserve history. You want to talk about preserving history, right? James and Jason are doing more than preserving history. They're cementing it in their lives, right? What do you got there? I know he's going to go through some show and tell.
Guys, let me
This
ask.
is,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, James.
1933. Okay, 1933. Now think about in U.S. history, we got the Depression going on, and that's what I love about the pulps is people had no cash. I mean, my mother, I talked to her about the Depression. I mean, it literally not enough food to eat. Nobody had jobs. But people, when they bought a pulp, that was a big deal. That's spending a lot of cash. And this one came out in 1933 at the Chicago World, was part of the World's Fair. Look at this.
Oh yes.
Wow.
This is a high grade, but just a bizarre
Page
book.
5.
And it talks about the history of torture. Just
That's
a bizarre.
awesome.
It's not a pulp.
Wait.
It's a tiny
What year is
magazine.
that?
1933.
And you had that. We had that. You had that raw once. We were able to look in that.
I've had it raw. I've had it raw twice. I sold. I think one copy went to Todd, and I think one went to Gabriel, because it's just a very unusual book, and it just shows examples through history of different types of torture. No, it's not a nice book. It's a crazy book, but the fact that it showed up in the World's Fair in 1933 is bizarre to me, and it was a promotional giveaway.
What are you promoting?
I don't know. That's a good question. This
Torture,
is
I
a
guess.
promotional giveaway. What are you giving? What are you promoting? I don't know.
Things could be worse.
Torture.
Yeah, it could be. That's what
You
they
know,
do.
it's
When you guys look at these books from back then, right? When you look at the books from back then, do you feel like currently, like EC Oni Press, Fantagraphics, Dark Horse, like, do you feel like they're doing this genre justice today?
Yeah, I think that everything today, the horror books that we're seeing today are homage to these books in the 50s. Like it's an unending supply of insane artwork that I've kind of been blind to because my eyes kind of turned off at 1955. But then when you look at some of the covers, you go, this could have been the cover that was on the wall, the Senate wall.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
This is Voodoo 8. It's been personally one of my favorite pre-code horror books. You got the Voodoo Princess. The colors are incredible. Just a very simple, gorgeous design, right?
But as far as like the modern horror stuff, it's funny because I was trying to talk to someone who doesn't read comics. I was trying to recommend some stuff they liked horror that they might like. And I was talking about Something's Killing the Children. And I was like, I think you'd really like that. But you say that title. Now, if you collect comics, you've heard it a lot of times. Something's Killing the Children is really popular. But they were looking at me like I was recommending some kind of crazy book. And it just kind of took me back. Think about the golden age. Like, I'm sure if you showed these covers of people outside the comic community at the time, they're like, oh, my God. What is little Charles reading?
What do people think when you pull, like, that don't know comics? You pull this out.
Oh, that's
like, what the fuck is that?
that's one of my. That's something I've been trying to secretly
if you
chase.
pull this out,
Something about that cover.
The general public is mortified, right?
I mean, I can't imagine walking by a newsstand and seeing that. I mean, fuck.
Let's be honest, people. I mean, let's go back in time to the 1950s. Your son comes home and he has that in his hand.
Yeah.
and hi honey, what do you got reading there? Let me take a look. And it's some dude hanging, or better yet, someone getting shot to death
Yeah.
on the electric chair.
1944, your kid comes on with this. LB Cole electrocution cover, 1944.
Now, trust me, there's some parents out there probably like, oh, that's nice. Let me know how the story goes.
Good job, Johnny.
And then, then you have the other ones, or like, that's what a man should read, right? That's what that's what grows hairs on your nuts.
That's my kid. Strong kid.
I mean, of all the books on Wortham's wall, on the Dirty Two Dozen, that one, like you make a pretty good case if you're it's tough to argue that. You can argue the spellbound.
Instagram has flagged some of my previews when it has that book.
Which one?
The Crime Suspense 20. Because a couple of my previews where I had maybe 4 or 5 copies of Crime Suspense 20, Instagram sees that and their algorithm says, okay, this guy has pictures of a dude hanging. That's not, we don't like that.
This is the creep show we had made. My wife's a big zombie fan, and to surprise her, that's how we put her head as a zombie.
That's really cool.
I was telling my parents, we were getting it done. They looked at me like I was crazy.
You're the reason why they burned all these books a long time ago. So you're right, and it's I kind of don't blame the movement. Let's be very honest. Now, of course, he went over the top. It's corrupting minds and this and that. But to the parent of the product from the late 40s to the early 50s, they're seeing their son carrying around a decapitated head, a woman being choked underwater.
They should have treated it like, in my opinion, they should have just treated it like cigarettes. That if you're 18, you can buy smokes, right? That was actually a good point. What's funny is after all the trials, the comic book industry jumped the gun and had this, had the comic book code authority. But if you read the findings, there you go, Hand of Fate, baby. That's a Senate book.
I had no idea.
What grade is that?
Stack.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold the phone. Cash, you didn't know that was part of one of the Senate wall books?
One of my favorites, too. I brought one.
Wait, which one is that? Is that 18 or 21? I was looking away.
Rainbow.
Oh, 18.
Wow.
That's
great.
I think the top staple popped on it.
I got to tell you, I love the fact that this show. Hold on. This is your twinsies over here, Nick.
This is the only show where 4 of us have that book.
Wow, look at that. All you bunch of nerds. What a fucking
beautiful.
I am just cute.
This has like off-white to white pages. It's actually really, really nice, except the top staples.
If it's better than this, send it to me, please.
No, it's not better than
I'll be happy to send you this in exchange.
Hey, I gotta be honest. I am super stoked that because of this show tonight, Cash is like, hey,
Cash, he's one in now.
On my way.
I just started my collection.
You know what? You just started your collection. I'm just one ahead of you. That's the only. So as long as you beat me, Cash.
Cash, I wanted to say before we're done on the show, I think everybody here in this room influences everyone else in some way. Obviously, the Dirty Two Dozen is a big one, what we're talking about. But I got to tell you, right here, if it wasn't for you 2 years ago, when you said, we asked, what's going to be big, what are you looking at, and you said Archie's. And I said, fuck. And then from that point on, I couldn't really look away. And so I started collecting some Archies, and I got to hit it because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been there,
Innuendo covers.
Nice. And that's a good one.
It's all the influences that we all have on each other.
This is my favorite Senate book.
Oh, that's one of mine too. I love that book.
I have had that book 3 times.
Yeah, it's hands down my favorite. It looks cool. It's just.
Well,
I think $100 is the most I've ever sold one for.
What?
Cash, you know what that
Yeah,
means? That
I've
means
had it
you
a few
had
times.
2 books on that wall.
Wow.
That's right.
You probably had more, you just didn't know.
If you know, they pass through. If you don't know, you know,
Cash, I'll give you 200
I've
for that
had
Justice
several.
League
I
you
mean,
got
I've-
back there.
Yeah, you
So
know,
does anybody know what this is?
hold on.
Famous funnies,
It's,
yeah, famous funnies.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
The
famous
significance of this one.
I can't see
So I'll
it.
tell you,
but didn't Frazetta do some artwork
It's
in
Famous
some of that?
Funnies, Carnival the Comics, no number. This is the first. This is the first modern comic book.
Nice.
There were no comic books of this format before. There technically was a book they called the comic book in 1890, but it was not in the format that we're familiar with comic bubbles and everything else. And this was I chased this down. I've always wanted a piece of history like this. So the first comic book that you'll see, not the first on the newsstand though, because Famous Funnies #1 was. This was a giveaway a month or two before.
Be careful, people. Like Mikey said, he got banned on going live because he showed a piece of art of someone kind of offing themselves, and he got pulled. So it is interesting how he showed a piece of art that shows that, but yet James and Jason, your shows straight out have the covers of someone, especially that one, which is the one where the guy's completely offing himself with the splatter. What is that?
Yeah, that's the Trump cover.
The Crime 17, yeah.
Crime 17. I mean, it's pretty blatant.
That's very blatant. Well, people say it's somebody else's hand, but then when you look in the mirror, you realize it is his hand.
It's gruesome.
See, that's the thing. It's the thing, and then you have the other stuff, right? You have the axe, holding the woman's head. You got that going on to you. So they get away with
22.
stuff.
Which was homaged amazingly.
Here you go, 1944. This was my first World War II Schomburg cover. And what I loved about it is you have everything happening in this cover. You have the soundproof Gestapo in the back. You got hypodermic needles. You got bondage. You got red hot pokers. You got everything, every possible torture device is on this cover. And this is Fighting Ink 10 from 1944. It's got poison gas. It's got hypodermic needles, daggers, guns, multiple. It's everything. It's got it all.
Yeah. Everything in the box.
Yeah, and then that's the Fighting Ink to come in and save the day.
Sounded like
crazy cover.
Sounded like a Schwarzenegger film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
coming in.
And here it comes. Okay, so all right, we get, as always. These guys were only planning on being on for an hour, but I always warn everybody: you just can't come on the show for an hour, people.
Fight Against Crime #20, Matt.
You just can't do that, because you start talking, you start having a good time, and it's like going to somebody's house and going, "All right, I'm out." It's like, you son of a bitch, you just got here an hour ago. What are you doing? I gotta go.
Nice talking to you guys. Gotta go.
Yeah, so it doesn't really work that well. But that being said, Crime City and James, for all you guys, they're going to be starting a live show on IG very soon. You know how they do it: collect numbers, doing a reel. Doing a roll of the fucking carousel. What's that?
Roulette wheel. Yeah,
roulette wheel. Thank you so much. It's always a good time. If you guys are like, what do you mean? These guys sell actual books? They're not just talking about history? No.
Yeah.
Not only that, they give away books, people.
Yeah, it's just one of the most fun shows you can watch. I laugh so hard every show.
Listen, especially on Saturdays, you take a drink, the wife, or maybe you're the wife, and your husband gives 2 shits about what the hell you're watching. Grab a drink, and you just relax and watch these guys just talk about history, yell at each other, and give away books. It's one of the best things you could possibly do in the evening if you have nothing to do.
When Jason starts the tough talk, he's going to get in trouble. He knows that.
Oh, yeah.
And on that note, I'm gonna
Tough show.
James will usually push me to give away some. We'll kind of have to play a little bit of. He puts up something insane.
Big.
I'll have to put up something insane.
I give
At
away
the end of the
something
day, I'm like,
big, and
shit,
then
I
I'll
just lost a lot of
pressure
money.
him.
But
Yeah, I'll give away a big book, like $1,000 book, and then I'll pressure him to. It's a group effort, so he's got to come up with something good.
Hold
that
on.
one.
Let's go here. All right.
so here's what I'm gonna give away tonight.
It's crazy cool.
And
What's the grade on it?
With Caesar, I have
What's
to
the
draw.
grade?
it's you know what?
Okay.
Top staples pop. There's a little bit of a water stain on the back. Presents.
What's the grade? Free. The grade is
So
free.
let me try again.
The grade
What's
is
the
free.
grade?
It's probably a 2.5.
All right.
And still,
Oh, forget it.
Iconic cover.
if you know, this is a $400 book
It's a great book.
in a 1.0. You know, this book.
Yeah.
This presents. Look how nice. This is Jack Davis. This is probably what caught my eye to get into these EC books, which was my entry level into pre-code horror.
That's how Jason and I met. I bought all of his EC books, and then we had our first show. I showed up at his house, and I had about 40 high-grade EC books.
And like 20 giant travel suitcases full of
That's
books.
right.
And,
That's very true.
and we hopped online the first day we met. We're on for about 6 hours, so late that he had to get a hotel room. And he came back the next day to help me break down the racks. Said, "What the fuck? Let's just go again."
Just keep going.
Yeah.
And
That was back when you guys would go live together, right? I mean,
That's
I've been
right.
watching.
In my living room. And
That's
think
when I
you were
started
there.
watching. I started watching when you guys were together. Little Spoon, Big Spoon. I won't tell you who was who, but that's how it all started. And it comes to show you, man, they've moved up in this world. Look at that. You got the board.
This is the
We don't have
board.
drama.
So I'm taking so what people are doing, they're asking for numbers, and as I promised in the preview, if you give me your number here, it's going to be good.
I think Caesar should read out the numbers for you.
Yeah, Caesar, that's your job.
We got Raleigh at 18.
Okay, we got Raleigh at 18.
18.
All right.
Give Nick a number too.
Adrian Wade.
Chat.
Hold
Give
on,
everybody
Adrian Wade.
Give everybody on the show right now a number for sure.
23 for Adrian Wade.
I always go with 17.
There you go.
Wait,
All right.
who gets 23? Adrian?
Yeah,
Okay.
Adrian Wade. Yeah, and then give let's see, Alex 22.
Alex, what's your Instagram, Alex? Is it
What's your Instagram, Alex Seha?
Say hi. Okay, sure.
Yeah, Seha. Matt is saying 16, the winning number.
Matt always wins. Well,
Matt
most
is
of the
the
time.
most winningest.
As a matter of fact,
I think he's
my
won
show.
like eight or nine times.
As a matter of fact, it's my show, so screw Matt. Don't give him anything. Dan gets 17.
Dan? Okay.
Yeah, I might as well. Mikey Gruesome gets 16.
Mr. got 16. Mikey, how about 19?
Go ahead, Mikey. 19. He doesn't have a choice. Gary, DJ DeOne is 24.
DJ 24. Okay.
We got Christopher Pine.
Christopher. Oh, okay. Pin.
Pin, is it Pin? Yeah. 00.
00.
Yep.
Okay.
Then we got Mrs. Wooters, our favorite, who was on here last time with you guys. And James, her husband.
What's up,
15.
Wendy?
Hey, Wendy, James. Hope you guys are doing great.
15.
Okay.
Cy Young. Do you remember who you know Cy Young is
Cy Young.
on IG?
Yep.
Is that his name?
White out.
All right.
C Young is 32. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Mikey says 28. If he doesn't.
James, is that a real shotgun?
Mikey wants 28. Mikey G. I think he's got it.
Yeah. I will take a random.
This is Bob. So Bob is wearing his zombie mask. He has a shotgun, his pistol, and his pickaxe. And all of them are from what, Jason?
They're all from The Walking Dead.
Everything from The Walking Dead.
That's
used
so
used
cool.
used on screen. So this is Bob. This was used on screen. If you could see it, hold on.
That's cool as hell. That is
Yeah.
so
So this
cool.
this is an original mask that was used in Walking Dead. The shotgun was used in Walking Dead. This pistol was used in Walking Dead, and this pickaxe too. So Bob is ready to roll. Bob's ready to roll, right, Bob? He doesn't talk much, so.
So,
He's
Jason,
pretty quiet.
did you get Josh?
Aaron. Let
Yeah.
me put him down.
Any.
Did he claim a number?
Any.
Any number?
Any
Any
number.
You know,
Okay.
you guys.
And I got K-Van, Troy, and Collectibles.
Cat loves
any
comics. Cat
Who?
likes comics. Cat loves comics.
I got
What's up,
Cat.
Cat?
Annie. Rob MC. Annie.
I got Rob on
Okay,
3.
you got Kevin. Did you get Troy Kruger?
I got Troy.
Okay. Mark Johnson.
I'm gonna grab a book I just got from Cat. I'm gonna show that off.
Annie.
Okay.
For
Mark.
Collectibles. That's Annie.
I got. Oh wait, Mark Johnson is Collectibles, right? I got him
Yeah.
on 27. Okay.
Four corners. Annie.
Four
What's
corners.
up, brother? Four corners.
Oh, I love that book.
Thank you, Cat, for this great deal on this great book.
Movie Man. Brian.
Nice.
Annie.
Okay. Movie Man, I got you.
And I got to tell you, for doing this.
Yeah, tell everybody what the numbers are for, Caesar, and
So-
where to go.
Yeah. So this
There's only
is
one rule.
This is what's going on. Yes, and I'm gonna fucking talk about that rule. All right, everybody.
Four corners. Dave says give him any number, so I say give Dave 135.
So this is what we're gonna do. This is what's normally going on. What these guys are doing, they're collecting numbers, and they do this every single time on their show. Sometimes they go live during the week, but most likely go live on weekends because right now it's Saturday. No one has to work the next day or check penises in Jason's case. This is the thing. They do these numbers because James has a roulette wheel. That's right. James has a roulette wheel, and he spins the number. That ball falls in that number. You win that book that Jason just showed earlier. But do me a favor. 2 ways to win, you sons of bitches. You got to fucking like and subscribe on the YouTube page.
Yeah, if you aren't liking that, you've got to like this right now.
I'm going to see all you guys come back here next Tuesday because I'm going to bring in some people from IG that you guys already know. We're going to talk comics this time. Next time we'll talk about some stuff. Absolute Batman we talked about last time. We talk about movies. We talk about a bunch of shit. But the other thing, in order to win the free book on the Code Blue and Crime City Power Hour, sometimes it goes 7 hours, you have to be present.
That's right.
See,
Have to go on a date with Cesar Morales.
Oh, but listen, that's a lucky son of a bitch who goes on a date with me. Because we're going home run all the way, baby, on the first date. I'll tell you.
Is Mike Keegar Mike G?
Innocence of Seduction.
Yes,
with
yes.
Caesar.
They didn't call me Dr. Octopus for a reason. So what I'm saying is,
happening here?
You have to go live on their show when they spin. You have to be there to win. No tagging either. Hey, they're calling your number. You better jump in and get off the shitter. And don't do that. All right?
You can watch on
And it's happened. It's happened. The cool thing is when they have 50 people on the show and they get all the numbers and they don't spin right away. No, you got to stick around, baby. The shit isn't literally for free. You got to stick around, watch what's going on, claim some books, and then by the time they roll, there's 30 people in there, so there's 20 people gone, and your name comes up and you're not there, we spin again. That's the way it works. That's how people end up getting books multiple times, like Mr. Shithead over there winning like 25 times. It's not fair. But listen.
That's a lucky fucker, that's for sure.
He is a lucky fucker. That's 100%. I tell him he's never going to come back on the show again, but then I feel bad and he might have him back on. So right after this, once these guys disappear, they're going to go over there. Go ahead, go over there. Leave me with just 2 people. That's fine. It's just me and Nick. And
you can watch it on reruns.
Hey, Cash, you should go on their Instagram. And did you get a number? You should go.
Can I just say, Caesar, if I may, I have such respect for this panel. Every time I've listened to Jason and James, it's not it's educational. It's an experience. They're like not just comic collectors, they're evangelizers, and it creates an excitement and a buzz. And I will say about Nick, the guy right above me here, it goes without saying, this dude is a co-founder of the Comic Underground, literally just an absolutely positive place on the Instagram community. They've built such a great collection of people and a great community there. It's nothing but love. So I already posted on Tree City Comics about our show tonight and all these people. You got to make sure you're following everybody here who's here, including Cash, Sinbad Comics. You got Crime City, you got Code Blue, you got the Nerd Pub and the Comic Underground, Caesar. These are just a great group of people here. You want to expand your community with good people, and here you got them. You got six, five. I can't count myself, so 5 good people, and then me.
Yeah, it's one of those things. There's a reason why people keep coming back to this show. It's not because of this. It's because I try to bring good people together, and no one is here just because. I bring people because there's a commonality and there's a respect for one another, and I know for a fact that people will enjoy each other. You heard the story from Jason. He got some Archie books because of Cash from a show from 2 years ago. This is the way it works. So, Cash, did you get a number, Cash?
Are you gonna? He has to commit to coming on the show.
You gotta watch the show, Cash, in order to win.
So Mikey said he got taken.
I might be asleep. I'll listen for my
and you're not gonna. Yeah, okay.
Mikey said he got blocked from IG.
I don't know if he's number worthy.
And
no, he's
that doesn't seem dedicated.
I'm old.
From IG. I had like a panic attack because I got like a message saying that like I had been restricted, but it was for posting a comic, and it kind of goes in line with this horror stuff, And I was watching. I didn't really care for the show, the Ed Gein show. But it was the Netflix one. But they had posted some that he was reading some EC books and some, and they kind of like tied it to like that's why he had like kind of turned. But anyways, I had posted this. This is a John Wayne Gacy
book. Shit.
And this book is really hard to find. And I posted it, and then it was like promoting sadistic violence. I was like, "Whoa, I didn't do anything in the nature."
But this is okay.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta are the moral compass. They make sure that they're only letting us see what we really should see as a society.
That's right.
So I was like, "All right, no more John Wayne Gacy."
Jeez.
But yeah,
that's
this is crazy cool.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, because since we're almost out of the show. We just might end the show early. And I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna end the show early, so
after
we can all go
roulette
wheel. We're gonna do the roulette wheel now. So what we're gonna do is we're going to end the show early, so we can all hop over. I'm gonna secretly put the earbuds in my ear and creep over to watch TV with my one eye closed and listen to watch the show. Because the wife's like, you just got on a podcast, and now you're going to watch these guys for 74 hours?
Yeah.
The answer is
I'm
yes.
like, but baby, I might win a book. Yeah, that is a word, people. All right. So that being said, we're going to go around the loop. They're gonna just basically show, say how to get a hold of them and all that, and then we're going to head on over to their, wait a little bit. They're going to go live. You'll see the live go up on your Instagram. Then go over and watch your show. But let's go ahead and start.
10 minutes.
Yeah, let's wait about 10 minutes. It's like everyone has to go take a
need a
leak.
little setup time.
Yep. So give them about 10 minutes, and they're gonna go live. But let's go ahead with Cash. Where can people find you and all that good stuff, my man?
People can find me as Sinbad Comics everywhere.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram.
Instagram, those are the main places I'll
Cash took a little bit of a break, but he's coming back. And if you guys are looking for some golden, some bronze and silver, he's going to be your guy. Now, I'm going to say it. They're not like 9.8s, but if you're looking to fill a run, if you just want to be able to hold the grail, he's the way to go, man. He's the way that you want to go to. So look him up. Go follow.
I got a book or two.
Yeah, he has a few books, and he's responsible for a couple of these keys for myself. So he's a very honorable man, and he's very respectable. So now let's go with Nerd Pub. Man, what's going on?
Yeah, Nerds Pub on Instagram, or the Comic Underground with me, Kate, and Kyle.
Go O's.
we have the fortunate pleasure of having an amazing community of collectors and sellers over there. So we've really built something cool as far as like a community within a community, similar to what James and Jason have built for Golden Age Comics and the Dirty 2 Dozen books. So just for all kinds of collectors alike. But yeah, so Nerds Pub on Instagram. I will definitely be over at the Crime City and Code Blue show, though. That's one of my. I'm telling you, even if you don't collect and you want to go laugh for 3 hours, when Jason has the music going too loud and James finally breaks down, I literally lose it every single time. And the funniest part is sometimes it's not even like Jason's fault. It's just for video. It's like loop it for something crazy, but you'll laugh so hard the whole show. It's great. But yeah, I can't wait to go watch that next. So.
All right. Okay. The man who barely has anything to promote, but go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to just take offense to what Gary said. We're not old. Me and Nick, we represent the younger element on this podcast. And as an influencer like myself, I just want to say that I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation this evening. I will say, if you want more of what we talk about, please follow us on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Tree City Comics. I'm always posting about the things I'm reading. I read a lot, as you'll see. I love the discourse, so make sure you're connecting with me and we can chat about whether you agree, disagree with what I'm writing about. And every Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, I will write about the particular titles that I grabbed for that day. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to get your book spoiled, don't read it. But there's a warning before you swipe and start reading that you will be spoiled if you're going to want to read your New Comic Book Day books. But yeah, find me out there. And again, you guys, it goes without saying, I just love this community. I so appreciate, I get to meet Cash tonight, but I've known Nick, I've known James, I've known Jason now as part of our community. And just every time I get together, and hats off to you, Caesar, for pulling just always great shows together. I learn something every time. So it's so fun. I'm reading the comments. I'm cracking up. I love all these guys out here. So I'm glad you could all join us tonight.
Fantastic. I did forget to say, though, I did have the pleasure of meeting James in person. And I always get kind of nervous when I meet some of the folks from the Instagram community in person, just because I have so much respect for them over, the internet, but you're not really sure in an in-person scenario. But James is just incredible through and through. That's how I knew he was just a genuinely great dude. He was so respectful, not only to me, but my wife, and just went over the top with generosity and kindness. So that's another reason why you definitely got to go support these guys, is they're genuinely just good people. Caesar, I was supposed to meet Caesar that time too. So hopefully at the next con we could actually get all the way.
That's a negative, Ghostwriter. My fucking con days are over. I'm too fucking old. My back hurts and all that bullshit. So that's
we'll figure out a way to
we'll figure it out a way. We'll figure out a way. All right, James, why don't you go ahead and at least tell them how they can reach you and all that good stuff.
It's Code Blue Comics, all one word, no underscore or whatever. And we typically have shows on Saturday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And do not let Jason off the hook. When he turns the music up too loud, and we're trying to take comments, we're talking about books, and the music is just black.
Keep doing it, Jason.
That's not
He's
acceptable.
doing it.
It's not acceptable. And when you make a drink for somebody, especially when you're using high-end alcohol, just a really nice quality drink, and making the whipped cream by hand, I mean, you drink the drink.
You churned it yourself. I know.
Yeah, I walked the cow. All that.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
So anyway, we'll take a little break and get the place all set up, and we'll do another live show. But thanks, Caesar. We had a lot of fun. I'm going to say to Nick, go O's, baby. Go O's.
I know. Hopefully next year, right? Always next year.
There's always a next year.
Even when they suck, they're still a lot of fun.
Yeah, always a great time.
I love going to Camden Yards. So there you go.
All right, Jason.
All right. So first of all, Caesar, thank you, and Dan, thank you. This is the show I never want to end, because we truly would be here for another 3 hours shooting the shit, because we always do. So we have to put an end time because we did want to do something special with the show. But as always, it's been a great time. Now you can find me at Crime City Comics 1 on Instagram. Listen, we're going to do a show in a few minutes, but I don't know if I'm the most approachable guy, but I feel like I am. So if anybody ever has golden age, platinum age, any age questions, just ask me, because maybe I know something that you don't. Maybe you know something I don't. But I'd love to just kind of meet people, talk about this whole world that we're in, which is unique. And I'm just going to plug Instagram really quick, because I think we have the best group of comic people there, bar none. Better than any other community. That's right. These are all old shutters, New England shutters that we hammered into a collage. This thing's like a ton. It is heavy. It was hard to put up. Anyway, we're going to be on the show in probably about 10 minutes setup time. This is my giveaway. Those of you who got numbers here don't have to fight for them there, but you do have to be there when we spin, or you will not win. So guys, we'll see you on Instagram in just a little bit, but I'm so thankful, Caesar, for a great night.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, listen, everybody. I mean, what a fucking fine night. And this is why I'm going to make it more than a habit that just one time a year, because these guys are too good to be held in a bottle. Sometimes you got to release that genie. You got to release those genies, except as long as they don't wear that outfit. I'll be perfectly fine with that. And you know which outfit I'm talking about. Once again, if you not have a chance, go subscribe, go like to the YouTube channel. Come back here next Tuesday. We're going to have some more people. I'm planning to have a ladies' night of IG. I'm looking to have Kate on, Cat's Comics, looking for another female. Get the perspective on the female side of comics. Let's be honest, it's heavily. It's a sausage fest. Let's be honest, gentlemen. It is, and we need more. We need more of the female persuasion, because
it's called the broho ratio.
Is that what it is? Because
the broho ratio.
I will not endorse that vernacular.
They read, I don't, so they already went up. They're smarter than I am. That being said, you can reach me at the Real Dracula's Wolf. If you need those reels, if you need that voiceover, if you need a world to be dominated by me, you gotta let me know. I do the voices too. That being said, let's all head over once this ends. Give it about 10, 15 minutes. Let them take a poop. Let them take a leak. Let them set up. And we're going to have some more fun continue on over there. Everybody, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. And peace. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
All right, guys. See you next year.
Comic Menu Podcast is sponsored by Realistic Comic Books.